Good morning, everyone, and warmest welcome to friends and colleagues dialed into this meeting and observing it as well. This is a happy and historic moment for the Borderlands region. My name is Jason Gooding, and I'm the Chief Executive of Carlisle City Council, which is one of the partner authorities involved in the Borderlands deal. I'm delighted to host this event today, which is the official signing event. We have a number of we have leaders of the partner authorities here, and we have ministers from UK government and Scottish government. And I'll begin by immediately handing over to our first speaker, which is Michael Matheson, Cabinet Secretary from Scottish Government. Over to you, Mr. Matheson.
Thank you very much, Jason, and good morning to everyone on what is a very important occasion. I'm delighted to be able to join you this morning to sign the Borderlands Inclusive Growth Deal on behalf of the Scottish Government, a deal which I believe will build strategically on the region's natural assets, its resources and its entrepreneurial spirit to drive sustainable economic growth in the future. I'm also aware of the significant amount of hard work that has gone into getting the deal to this important milestone in what has been very challenging circumstances. And I'd like to put on record my thanks to everyone for their effort in achieving this, in particular the local authority Borderlands team and their regional partners for that significant effort. At the very heart of this deal is partnership working between governments, local authorities and their public and private sector partners. And if this deal is taken forward in its full form, I believe it's a deal which will deliver an opportunity to reinvigorate the regional economy by investing in its local people, local projects and importantly in local priorities. The very unique nature of this approach, which is a distinct feature of this particular growth deal, takes a partnership approach to a whole new level. And I'm delighted that we've been able to work with our neighbours in the north of England in recognising the desire for regional partnerships to work together on shared challenges and also on opportunities. Taken together, the deal will deliver over £460 million in new investment for the region between the contributions from government and from the regional partners. We have a real opportunity to invest this wisely to transform the regional economy, unlocking its full potential and creating opportunities for all of its citizens. That in itself, I think, is a tremendously exciting and energising prospect. The projects supported with the deal investment will build on the region's very significant strengths in tourism, in harnessing its land and its maritime resources to create high quality jobs, supporting business innovation and expansion, supporting and improving regional connectivity through such things as the work to look at extending the Borders Railway and creating attractive places for people to live in and equipping them with the skills to be able to take forward their careers and to contribute to their communities. So I've got no doubt that this deal will deliver real partnership and it will deliver a real boost to the communities and businesses right across the Borderlands region in what is an incredibly challenging time for us all. So it gives me great pleasure to sign the Borderlands growth deal and the £85 million contribution from the Scottish Government to make sure that we continue to maximise the benefit to the Borderlands economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the UK Government Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, Robert Jenrick. Over to you, Secretary of State.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here today. It only seems like yesterday that I met some of you in the Treasury building in London about 2 years ago when we were discussing this, and it was an idea that had been around for a long time, but which we needed to come together to make happen. And I'm absolutely delighted to be able to join you virtually today for this very exciting conclusion of the process. I think the deal is a vital part of this government's levelling up agenda to help reshape towns and cities and rural areas into places where businesses and communities can truly thrive. The Borderlands deal being agreed today is very distinctive. Not only is it the first cross-border deal of its kind, it also covers the largest area of any deal we've agreed to date. By working together, the UK government, the Scottish government, and the 5 local authorities have developed an ambitious and exciting plan that will enable the Borderlands, I hope and expect, to reach its potential for the benefit of everyone, delivering green growth, attracting new businesses and investment in the years to come. And it couldn't be more timely than now as we begin to come out of the COVID-19 pandemic and to rebuild and reopen our economy. As the first of its kind, I'm excited by the potential of this kind of cross-border partnership, how it's worked so successfully over the course of the last few years, and we certainly want to replicate it in other parts of the United Kingdom. This is a long-term plan, but work on it will be starting very soon. For example, work has already begun to improve Carlisle Station as the gateway to the Borderlands region. The first phase will see £24 million of investment to revitalise the station, including £20 million of that coming from my own department, the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. And I'm excited by the innovation that we're seeing within this deal and its commitment to green growth, such as the development of an overarching Borderlands energy master plan, setting the framework for investment of up to £30 million in a demonstrator in community and commercial energy projects. The impact of the pandemic has demonstrated more than ever the importance of better connectivity, and this is particularly challenging in rural areas where digital exclusion is a real problem. So many people throughout the Borderlands, no doubt, have been working from home, running their businesses from home, and educating their children from home over the course of the last 12 months. So it seems very prescient that we are committing over £30 million for digital infrastructure improvements across the Borderlands, so those people living in towns and rural areas get the same access to world-class digital infrastructure as if they were living in our bigger cities. Again, this investment has already begun, with £4 million of Borderlands funding currently being invested to connect not-spot locations through a digital voucher top-up scheme to provide connections to over 2,000 premises. Where we live matters. The events of the last year has brought this home to us, I think, more than ever, and people need and deserve to live somewhere where they can truly thrive. The Borderlands Place programme will revitalise places by targeting investment to truly reinvigorate them. I think the people who live in the Borderlands know that they have a wealth of natural beauty and history and culture on their doorstep, that those of us who aren't lucky enough to live there want to come and visit and enjoy and be part of as well. And we want to make sure that people from across the UK and indeed from around the world visit and appreciate this wonderful area. Investments in attractions like Hadrian's Wall and the Roman Frontier World Heritage Site, like the Play Village at Alnwick Garden, and improved cycling accessibility in the Lake District, to name just a few, will all help to attract visitors and to bring all the benefits that they bring of investment and spending as we begin to reopen the economy, as we move through the roadmap in England and in Scotland in the months ahead. I'd like to take this opportunity in closing to thank all of you for your constructive and productive working together and with the United Kingdom government over the course of the last few years, for the role of your local members of parliament who lobbied for this investment in the first place and encouraged the then Prime Minister Theresa May and Chancellor Philip Hammond to begin the process And of course, that's come to fruition now under the present government. I'm very excited to see the Borderlands deal being delivered, and I look forward to playing my part in ensuring successful outcomes for each and every one of those programmes in the months and years to come. So I'm delighted, like Michael Matheson, to sign the Borderlands deal on behalf of the Prime Minister and the United Kingdom government. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you very much indeed, Secretary of State. It's now my pleasure to introduce UK Government's Minister for Scotland, Ian Stewart. Minister, over to you.
Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be able to join you all today. My only regret is that we're not able to do it in person. And I'm sure we would have been able in normal times to celebrate this moment at one of the many beautiful scenic sites in the Borderlands region. Today marks the historic signing of the first cross-border growth deal, a wonderful achievement for the region. And I would like to put on record my thanks to all the local authority partners, their officials, local members of parliament, and all government officials involved in getting us to this point today. This is the 8th full deal we have signed, and we have another 4 in development with the Scottish Government, local partners, academia and business since the City and Growth Deal programme commenced in 2014. These deals are transformative for our cities and regions, and this deal is no different. We will see this investment boost the economy and create high-quality, sustainable jobs. Deals are about creating cities and regions of the future, and they empower communities to develop projects and collaborations that place them at the forefront of innovation, technology, connectivity. That is what this deal does. This has given us your perspective on what support the region needs through the growth deal. That is why the UK government investment spans a range of research, innovation, connectivity, culture and tourism projects. Projects like the Dairy Nexus and Natural Capital Innovation, the exciting Mountain Bike Innovation Centre and digital connectivity, which will ensure equitable coverage across Borderlands and all parts of the UK and are all parts of the UK government package of support over the lifetime of the deal. Let me finish by thanking once more all the local partners for the hard work, and I very much look forward to working with you once restrictions are eased and getting out to visit this wonderful region to see at firsthand the progress that is being made as we drive this deal forward. Thank you very much, and it is now my great pleasure to sign the deal on behalf of the Secretary of State for Scotland. Thank you.
Minister, thank you very much indeed. We're now going to hear from the Borderlands partner local authorities, starting with Councillor John Mallinson, who is the leader of Carlisle City Council and also currently co-chair of the Borderlands Partnership. So I'll hand over to Councillor Mallinson, please.
Thank you, Thank you, Jason, and good morning, everyone. I'm privileged to be here today to sign the Borderlands Inclusive Growth Deal on behalf of Carlisle City Council and also as co-chair of the Partnership Board. The deal is the first cross-border deal covering the largest area of any growth deals agreed to date. We are proud of its truly distinctive nature. It will deliver across 4 areas: improving places, enabling infrastructure, and encouraging green growth and supporting business innovation and skills. Each theme has a set of projects which will help deliver a step change for the businesses and communities of Borderlands by increasing productivity, growing the working age population, and delivering a more inclusive economy. Carlisle Station Gateway, an investment of £20 million in developing Carlisle Station as the gateway to Carlisle and a key infrastructure transport hub with connections across the Borderlands, including preparations for the arrival of the HS2 project in the future. Carlisle Citadels, bringing in up to £50 million investment to transform the Grade 1 listed Citadels building in the new city centre campus for the University of Cumbria, which will expand opportunities for local students and draw in new students to the area. I will now sign the agreement. And
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Councillor Mallinson. And so it's now my pleasure to hand over to the leader of Cumbria County Council, Councillor Stuart Young.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason. Good morning, everybody. Like everybody else, I'm delighted to be here in the first time I've ever taken part in a virtual signing. And I'll be signing the deal on behalf of Cumbria County Council. I know a number of schemes have been highlighted by previous speakers, but I would just like to pick out a few of them. Mention has been made of Carlisle Station and the Citadels redevelopment. I have a particular interest in that because my office used to be in the Citadels till a few years ago. They are going to be a key part of improving our infrastructure and connectivity beyond the region, along with the very exciting work on the Borders Railway, following the excellent work by the Scottish Government in reopening the line down from Edinburgh. And we'd like to finish what they started and reconnect with Carlisle, as did the old Waverley line. Digital Borderlands. I mean, when we started this aspect of the project, none of us could have guessed clearly what was going to happen with the pandemic. And what it has shown is the absolute vital importance of digital connectivity. And that will be even more important as we go forward into the recovery phase after the pandemic. It will reshape our regional economy. There's over £32 million of investment to address the gaps in digital and, very importantly, mobile infrastructure across the borderlands. We are, as has been said, a huge geographical area, sparsely populated and with topographical features that sometimes make connectivity difficult. So that will be particularly important for us to catch up with other areas and put in place the foundations for next generation connectivity. We've already been able to support, as has been mentioned, the digital voucher top-up scheme. So that's an additional top-up on top of the existing government funding for areas which are really difficult to reach. And that will, with the help of that funding, ensure that communities and businesses are better connected. There's so much more in the deal I could mention. The Seymour Lake District cycling offer, which we're very excited about, and we've just had an announcement yesterday that hopefully the Tour of Britain will be taking place, cycling tour later this year, and it will of course go through the Borderlands region, one of the stages, stage 6, and that's very exciting. And the PLACE programme, that's a really important aspect. There'll be 6 of our smaller towns here in Cumbria who will receive up to £3 million each to invest in the regeneration of their communities. These are places that sometimes miss out on the bigger regeneration funds, and so I'm particularly pleased that they will get this opportunity. And finally, Chair, I would just like to add my thanks to the many officials in the local authorities and at regional and at government level who've worked tirelessly behind the scenes to put this deal together in what I think is an amazingly short time. So thanks to all of them who've made this happen. And I will now sign the deal on behalf of Cumbria County Council using my special signing pen. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Young. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Councillor Elaine Murray, the leader of Dumfries and Galloway Council. Councillor Murray. Councillor Murray, you have your microphone currently on.
My microphone wasn't coming on. Sorry about that.
I can hear you now.
Good. I'm Elaine Murray, leader of Dumfries and Galloway Council, and of course I'm very pleased to be signing the deal today on behalf of this authority. It has been a pleasure to work cross-border, cross-party and through the joint partnership to recognise our collective issues and find solutions. And I am pleased that we have reached deal signing today and look forward to seeing projects develop and come to fruition after all the hard work, although the hard work will of course continue. For Dumfries and Galloway, this means investment in some of our small towns, both through the PLACE programme and the Business Infrastructure programme. This will revitalise our towns and help them to respond to the COVID pandemic and the challenges of changing town centres. The development of the green energy theme is very welcome. This will bring a new purpose to the former nuclear power station site at Chapel Cross, enticing new businesses to our region and bringing new highly skilled jobs. Our rural economy is very dependent on the dairy sector. Scotland's rural colleges will lead on the development of the dairy nexus at the Barony College, developing research and innovation to decarbonise the milk industry. Our region, like others in the Borderlands, relies heavily on tourism, and the destination theme within the deal will see investment in Stranraer Marina, bringing new jobs to the area and repurposing Stranraer as a marine and leisure destination with a wide offer for visitors and locals. So I too want to thank all those involved, fellow leaders, council officers, civil servants and government ministers in getting us to this stage, and I'll now sign the deal on behalf of Dumfries and Galloway Council.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Murray. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the leader of Northumberland County Council, Councillor Glenn Sanderson. Councillor Sanderson.
Thank you very much and good morning. I'm absolutely delighted to be signing the deal this morning on behalf of Northumberland County Council. Improving places is one of the strategic themes of this deal, and our places matter and are at the heart of what makes the Borderlands a very special place to live, to work and to visit. And to improve our ability to attract new people to our area and revitalise our towns and communities, we're investing £127.5 million in our places and tourism offer across the region. At Hadrian's Wall, at Berwick, where the redevelopment of the Berwick Theatre will use £15 million of funding to develop a new iconic multi-purpose and entertainment complex, drawing new audiences to Berwick. We've recently agreed £3 million to support the Ardgaffrin distillery in Wooler, which will bring new jobs and a distinct visitor experience to that part of Northumberland. Lily Dorai at the Annick Gardens in Northumberland is another project that is already delivering, supported by £5 million of funding from the deal. And this Lily Dorai is just one of the 7 projects which form Destination Borderlands. The projects will all help to increase the number of visitors, as well as the length of stays, extend the season and result in higher levels of spend. These projects cover major offers in cycling and walking and sailing as part of our offer as a world-class outdoor destination. So all of this, and for everything everyone else has said, and thanks to everyone also from us, I now have great pleasure in signing.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Sanderson. And now it's my pleasure to hand over to Councillor Mark Rowley, who's the Executive Member for Economic Regeneration and Finance at Scottish Borders Council. Councillor Rowley.
Yeah, good morning, colleagues and ministers. Thank you for this great opportunity. I'm speaking to you this morning just yards from a tributary into the absolutely majestic River Tweed, and of course part of Destination Borderlands is Destination Tweed, which is going to absolutely make that that iconic river a destination of international significance for our whole region. It's symbolic in that it's not just a border that divides two local authorities, but it unites us with our neighbours very close in Northumberland. I also want to thank all of the officers, ministers and politicians, some of whom are not with us today, who've worked on this deal over the last couple of years to get it to this stage. Clearly, one of the themes of this deal is business innovation and skills, and the long-term success of our region is absolutely dependent on our ability to prosper and be ready to take advantages of new technologies and ideas, and this deal will help us do that. In my own region, we'll move forward with a mountain bike innovation centre in Eleazen, working with Edinburgh Napier University to create an integrated bike park and trail lab as an absolute international hub of everything to do with biking. That's a £19 million investment from the Borderlands deal. The business infrastructure programme will invest in a number of locations across the region. That's 13.4 million across the south of Scotland, putting business infrastructure into lots of areas nearby to me, Coldstream, but also the great town of Hawick, Annan, Castle Douglas and Newton Stewart will benefit. This will meet needs that we've already identified and prepare us for the future. And rural innovation and skills are important too. So we're supporting lots of initiatives to drive innovation in land-based sectors, and living in the most rural community in the Scottish Borders, that's incredibly important. And part of that will be driving forward investment in the South of Scotland Learning Network, so that people remote as we are today will still be able to engage in education. So on behalf of my colleagues at Scottish Borders Council and those that are not with us today, I'm delighted to sign this deal, and thank you all for your support in doing so.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Councillor Rowley. And thank you very much indeed to all the signatories that have attended today. That concludes the formal proceedings. And thanks to everyone who has watched this virtual signing ceremony. The full deal document and more details about the deal can be found on the website borderlandsgrowth.com. And of course, we're all looking forward now to moving on to the next phase and delivering on behalf of the residents and businesses of the Borderlands region. So thank you very much, everyone, for participating in a really historic and wonderful moment for the Borderlands region. So that concludes our business. Thanks very much for attending, and thanks very much for listening.
Thank you. Thanks,